come as?
I've come as the angry Phantom Game Nerd, bitches. Wanna play some games? I'm gonna take you back to the past to play some Phantom games that suck ass. I'd rather have a Dario movie looped for the rest of my life. I'd rather 69 Lloyd Webber and take Joel Schumacher as my wife. I'm so angry 'cause I live in a sewer. I'm the angry Phantom Reviewer. Unless you've probably already guessed, I'm a pretty big fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd. If you haven't seen him before, check him out on YouTube and cinemasker.com. He's hilarious, and he's the whole reason I got into reviewing all things Phantom-y. So I thought I'd do a tribute to him and review me some Phantom games. Now, you're probably thinking, are there any Phantom games? Well, there's not many, but there's some, so I'm going to check them out. Before we check out the video games, I thought that Phantom Pinball should get an honourable mention. This pinball table was made by Data East. Just check out the artwork, the table's beautiful. So is this chick playing Christine. Apparently it's the artist's daughter. Damn, you've got one seriously hot daughter there. Yeah, look at it go. Funnily enough, this table seems based on the novel rather than any film or musical version. It even has the Persian and the managers in there. Yeah, watch me get the ball right up the Persian's ass for 5 million points. Now let's check out the video games. First up, The Phantom's Maze, released in 1982 for the Commodore 64. Well, Maze is right. This is one of those awful text adventures. Remember those where you have to type in N to go north and S to go south and so on? You ever actually sat down and played one of those? They're total garbage. So the game starts off and you're stuck in the sewers looking for Christine. You are standing in a dark hallway. You can go north, south, east or west. Okay, go west, young man. You are standing in a dark hallway. You can go north, south, east or I don't know, east. You are standing in a dark hallway. What the hell, man? Everything looks the same. How am I supposed to know where to go? Do we even have a map? Look at map. I do not know how to look. I've had enough of this. Let's check out Phantom of the Opera for the Sega Genesis. Again, you're playing Raoul, just trying to get Christine, fighting bats and rats and who knows what else. Actually, I have to admit, I'm only joking about these. These last two games don't actually exist, I just made them up. Kind of. I did actually hear that Sega were planning an Andrew Lloyd Webber tie-in game back in the 90s, but it was scrapped. I don't know how far it got, or if it was only in the idea stage, or if it was actually made. So if anyone can help me out with more info on that, I'd love to hear from you. I wonder why they didn't make it in the end. I mean, if they made a video game of Wizard of Oz, surely they could have done a Phantom game. And while you're at it, why not do West Side Story, the video game? Or Sound of Music?
Lieutenant! Lieutenant, they're here!
You give that to me, or
Not another step. I'll kill you.
you'll never be one of them.
As far as I'm aware, there's only one genuine Phantom of the Opera game in existence. It came out in 1993, and it's Return of the Phantom by Microprose. I remember it well. At the time, point-and-click graphic adventures were really popular, and for you young whippersnappers who don't know what graphic adventures are, basically it was a subgenre of adventure game where you'd go around various locations, talking to people, picking up stuff, combine it with other stuff, and use it on something else to solve puzzles. In the 1990s, LucasArts got this down to a fine art with classic adventures like Monkey Island, Indiana Jones, Fate of Atlantis, and Day of the Tentacle. A few companies jumped on the bandwagon, including Microprose, although this Phantom game is more about atmosphere and detection, and has some really nicely drawn background art for the time. This game's interesting because it was released at a transition point in the history of video games. The PC game scene was undergoing major transformation with the availability of games on the new CD-ROM format instead of floppy disks. Remember those? That meant there was much more space on the CDs for better graphics, speech, and even video clips. Everyone jumped on the bandwagon, rushing out crappy interactive movies and re-releasing their old games with sound and video. Return of the Phantom sort of caught between the two eras. Its original version was text only, but it was re-released with a full speech version on CD-ROM and a few sort of movie bits included, but it's not done particularly well. The voice acting in particular is awful. The whole thing reminds me a bit of the situation of the Lon Chaney movie that was in. When talking pictures came along in 1927, the old silent movies were obsolete, so they had to tag on speech to the 1925 movie, and the end results weren't great.
The Master shall lead you farther yet to heights of immortal glory.
What shall I do?
Be prepared to go. Be prepared.
That's what this game's like. It was innovative at the time, but now you look at it, it looks really dated. So let's take a closer look. First of all, the storyline's really weird. It comes across as like a hybrid of the Robert Englund movie and the Andrew Lloyd Webber musical. It starts out in the modern day with the chandelier falling. You play a detective called Raoul Motland who has to go and investigate the crime. Oh, look out, there's a fountain! Why is he walking like he's an extra in a vampire B-movie? And if he's so concerned about being secretive, why does he just stop in plain view in the middle of the stage? Wouldn't that attract attention? After solving a few basic puzzles, Christine Florent, the modern day Christine, gets murdered because, you know, the Phantom kills Christine's, doesn't he? Doesn't he? Apparently he does, and you come face to face with the vicious murderer. You fall, bang your head, and wake up in 1881, just like the Robert Englund version.
Raoul, wake up. Are you all right?
Monsieur de Chenet! Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, Raoul, are you all right? Can you hear me?
Apparently you're the reincarnation of Raoul de Chagny, and that's who you come back as.
Dear Raoul, that should help, shouldn't it?
Please go now. I'll be all right.
Of course. I must run out for a bit, Raoul. I shall be in my dressing room in a while. Please, come visit me. I need to speak with you. My door will be open when I'm back.
Ooh, now that sounds like he's onto a promise there.
Adieu.
Adieu! Ooh, I love that sexy French accent.
I shall be in my office. What has happened to me?
It's called a badly written plot device, Raoul. So you go around talking to people, solving basic puzzles, and trying to find your way down into the sewers to rescue Christine, who's been kidnapped on stage.